Hello and welcome, nerds and nerdettes, to yet another GGvision interview with me, Sebastian Sjöberg. Today I got a very special guest once again on the show. Dario, how are we doing?
Hi Sebastian, I'm doing excellent. The year 2011 has begun very good and it's a great day.
Quite so. It seems like this is truly the year of the Hydralisk. But of course you're playing random now. How does that feel to start off with?
Oh, it feels so good. It feels so natural and like what I want to do. Like I have no idea where I stopped playing random. It was the biggest mistake in my Starcraft career so far, and I'm glad I fixed that.
Well, that's of course how you climbed to fame almost a year ago now. I can't remember exactly when the beta was released, but we're closing in on the date in a couple of months. And since then, you've been doing one hell of a ride, as random, as Terran, as Zerg, and now back to random again. And I believe right now, at the moment of this recording, on Tuesday the 1st of February, you have claimed the #1 ladder spot. Is that the case?
Let me F5 the page again,
Yes,
sc2ranks.com. Yeah, it still shows me it as #1.
TLO #1 as random.
But obviously you have to say it's not completely representative, because if I would be living in Korea and having the #1 global spot, that would be truly #1, I guess. But because I'm only playing in Europe, I guess it's not entirely representative.
That's very humble of you to say, Dario. Still, congratulations. And of course, you won your first place title not very long ago in London at the Poker Idol Championship. And very much congratulations to that. It seems like 2011 is starting off very well. And soon you'll be going to Assembly in Helsinki to fight with the international elite there. But before then, you're going to Stockholm, the international esports celebrity that you are, for a completely different event that I think will interest many of your StarCraft 2 fans. What can you tell us about that?
It's a little bit different from what I've been doing so far, because it's not like a tournament I'm going to, but it's a Bloodline Champion Launch Party, basically. There's been a couple of esports celebrities been invited to help promote the game, to have some fun there, to play the game, to just promote esport in general. It's going to be very interesting. There's going to be some press there, Swedish television is going to be there, and other esport media, and I think it's going to be fun, and it's going to be different from what I've been doing so far, and I'm very excited to go there.
Well, it sounds like a very cool party to be at, and I'd like to thank Anna for inviting me. Sadly, I can't go this time, but we should nevertheless follow online. And of course, Bloodline Champions is an entirely new RTS game, I believe. I haven't played the beta myself, but it looks quite awesome, and viewers of this interview are currently looking at gameplay of that taking place. So maybe you'll be playing a bit, and there will be StarCraft 2 recorded as well with some recognizable names, yes?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but it might happen, and I would be very pleased if so. But it's gonna be. We might actually do some stuff. I don't know. It's because I'm gonna live for a few days at Show's house. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe something is gonna happen. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure you guys will cook up something nice for us all to watch. Because I believe Morrow and Show and others are attending the same event, the Swedish StarCraft Elite.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we can do some kind of spontaneous show matches, stuff like that. Definitely possible.
That almost sounds like a promise to me. Well,
yeah, but now I have to do it.
Yes, you do. Well, that still sounds like a very cool thing indeed. So, some interesting things are going on up here in Sweden. We saw Show win at IEM Kiev, and he said he might be going to Korea, though I'm sure he's got a lot of esports opportunities also in Europe. And would be cool to see you guys compete together and take it as far as you possibly can. But then there's Assembly the week after in Helsinki. That's looking like a truly extraordinary event with lots of Liquid guys flying in from all over the world to compete about the title and the quite measly 5,000 euros. How will you claim the first prize there?
how I will claim it, that's a very, very positive way of saying it.
Or provocative.
Yeah. Well, I think I've got definitely good chances to go far in the tournament. I mean, it's got a lot of good players, but I'm feeling very strong right now, and it's still 10 days for me to improve even more. And it would be nice for it to be like the European MLG Dallas repeating itself, because we've got so many liquid players there. So yeah, it should be incredible, and it's gonna be nice to meet all the liquid guys again. You've been there last time at DreamHack. It's always a great deal of fun when we are together, so it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I wonder what will happen to Huck this time. He seems like a very destructive little Brotoss. But we hope to see some great games and some behind-the-scenes coverage as well. I'm looking through the groups now of Assembly. You're playing in Group A with some names that are perhaps less recognized than others. I wouldn't go as far as say that it's an easy group. Maybe you will, but there are definitely some big players in other groups. You feel confident to go past the first stage in the bracket?
Oh, I definitely hope so. I mean, I've got to, I'm playing 2 Terrans and 1 Zerg, Fuser, Live Zerg, and somebody called Mayhemia. I haven't heard it.
Fuser, Live Zerg, and Mayhemia.
And I think I need to work a little bit on my versus Zerg matchups in general. Like, my TVC is pretty good, but my TVC and PVC are kind of lacking right now, and Live Zerg is not a bad player by any means. So I should focus on practicing against Zerg, but obviously my matchups against Terran are really strong right now, so I'm happy to have 2 Terrans in my group, and I think it's looking good. It's a good start for me.
Okay, well, that sounds promising, and I thought we could spend some time talking about the other groups. Are there any particular names that you would like to face, or perhaps that you would, I was about to say fear in the Assembly lineup?
Well, I don't know. It might be nice to meet Dignitas players again, because last time in London I all killed Dignitas basically. Maybe I can do it again.
Oh yes, wouldn't that be nice? I see here that if we look at the groups where other Liquid players are in, we have Group E, Liquid Huck, playing in the same group as Roxkiss Abver and MIM Sase, S-A-S-E, and Kill Jardy, which I haven't heard of before. Will Huck ruffle stomp that group?
Oh, he was very angry about the group because it contains so many Protoss, and PvP can always be kind of sketchy, even though there's like players who are not as good as you. So he's not happy at all, but I think he still has the best chances to advance as #1 spot from the group.
Well, let's hope he does. And he, of course, got an invitation to the GSL Group A.
Yeah. And it's like really nice for Huck, because Huck and Red are gonna be in Holland like a little time before assembly, so they're not gonna be incredibly jet lagged, but have a few days to get used to Europe again and to the time. So I think Huck should really take it.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that, but that's of course an important factor, that jet lag really can mess up your game, and the Koreans and North Americans have a disadvantage there otherwise. Moving on to other groups, well, he's not a Liquid player, but he is Root QXC, a very fearsome Terran, playing against Mers, Uga, and some other guy whose name I'm afraid to pronounce. Will he win, you think? QXC?
I haven't really heard of Uga and the other guy.
Torresito.
Yeah. Well, QXC, I don't know, he's not practicing that much right now, I think, because he's kind of busy with school and shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's probably still the favorite in the group. Maybe Mers, but definitely, yeah, I don't think there's going to be big surprises.
Okay, well, moving on to another guy we've already mentioned, and someone you will meet at that Bloodline Championships party, Dignitas Show, who won IEM Kiev not very long ago, playing in Group I.
Oh, but you shouldn't forget Group G, because it contains Action Jesus, and everybody's looking forward to see him in action again.
That is true, and if I remember correctly, Action Jesus played random at DreamHack, didn't he? Now he's listed as Zerg. Or...
No, he played six pool basically.
Oh yeah, okay. Then I'm on crack. But yes, I remember those games being quite enjoyable. He, of course, playing against Sake from Germany, Pommy and Tuomio from Finland. Yeah, it will be cool to see if Action Jesus can giggle bash his way through. You think or Show rather will fare well in his group? The only Protosses facing him, names that aren't too big.
Yeah, it's a really nice spot for him as well because he only has like to prepare against Protoss for the group stage. That's always really nice because he's gonna be warmed up against Protoss. He's only playing Protoss for the next 3 games. He can, like, a few days before, he can only practice against Protoss. And it's, as he said, it's not like anybody too famous, too known to be too good. So I think Show should probably go 3-0 in this group.
Well, as a fellow Swede, I hope he does. And then we have Group J with famous player Morrow and Adelscott playing against Ciala and a Finnish player called True Random. Well, a contester to you. Morrow and Adelscott, I suppose, would be famous there. You think they'll pass on? Morrow's looking good with his Zerg at the moment.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's always hard to tell if you read names you don't really know because, it's not like those are going to be bad players and they can obviously take games of Morrow and Adelscott too, but you can only always assume that the more established player are going to go through the group.
And between Morrow and Adelscott?
I don't know. I mean, Adelscott is definitely able to do some really strong early pushes against Zerg, and sometimes Morrow can be, like, I always like to call him an economic cheeser, because he's not like baneling busting you, but he's just like building 50 drones without any Zerglings, and that is a way of cheesing too, in my opinion, because it's like...
Very greedy.
Yeah, very greedy, and like sometimes he really overdoes it. I mean, if he gets into the macro game, he's one of the strongest Zerg players, but yeah, it can be easy to like not allow him to get there from time to time, and Adelscott definitely has the abilities to stop him from getting there if Morrow does not play a little bit safer.
Okay, well, that's some insights from TLO there, viewers. And speaking of a guy who I say might have the same problem with greed in Group M, your fellow Liquidian Rhett, because he plays a very greedy Zerg, tries to cheat in drones everywhere. At least that's my perception of it. He's playing against Insolence, Naugrim, and another random player called Activisti.
There's a lot of random players in Finland.
Yeah, apparently. They have difficulty deciding for themselves. Rhett, is he a greedy Zerg, and will he stomp his way through Group M?
Well, I wouldn't call him greedy even. He's like one step ahead of Morrow, I would say, because he understands the game a little bit better even. So he just is an optimizing Zerg, in my opinion. So he like usually has like barely enough to defend, but he has enough to defend in most games. And so he's a very safe but strong macro player. So I think Red should be fine too.
Okay, well, we definitely hope so. I am hoping to interview Rhett here on the show very soon as well, before he goes to Holland to prepare for assembly, and I'll ask him if he feels greedy then. And moving on to the last group, Group P, with Liquid Tyler against Sarens, Virus Magic, and of course E.G. Grubby, the Warcraft 3 legend, who is nowadays a hybrid player, playing both Warcraft 3 and Starcraft 2 as a Protoss. I mean, he's grubby, he's an esport household name, but will he be able to put up a fight against Tyler?
I don't want to like stomp on anybody's feet, but
come on, do.
I don't think he has like big chances to beat Tyler yet. I mean, it would be actually really scary if he would, because he has only been playing like so few StarCraft 2. So no, I don't think it's gonna happen. He told me himself he considers himself a slow learner and wants to take like StarCraft 2 easy. He's not gonna rush things and be disappointed if he's not gonna take titles in the first few months or years. So he's a patient person, and he's gonna like. I think as long as you're a hybrid player, even harder to like actually take titles in StarCraft because it's such an intense game. So many people are actually like playing it full time now, and I think it's kind of difficult to focus on two games at once. So yeah, I think we can definitely see good games from Grubby in the future, but right now he's definitely the underdog in StarCraft 2.
Yes, I think no one would disagree with you, but still it will be cool to see if his, serious Warcraft org skills can somehow transition, and if that gives him a unique style or anything. Maybe we were hoping for too much, but I'd very much like to see Tyler and Grubby move on through Group P, because it would be cool to see more out of Grubby, basically. I think he could bring a lot to the game when he decides to dedicate himself to it fully. But that's Assembly. Any other thoughts and predictions about that tournament?
Well, to be honest, like it's such a stacked field, you can't make too many predictions without ending up wrong. But obviously, I hope for Liquid to take one, like first, second, and third place.
Yeah.
And fourth place, because we have 4 players. I don't want to forget anybody.
Of course. And best of luck to Liquid for doing that. I think you have very good odds, definitely. But it's a stacked field, and it will be some fierce competition. And I believe it starts on the 11th. So,
it's actually quite hilarious. Like they made a remark, like at the bottom of the groups, like talking a little bit, mocking a little bit DreamHack because they're pointing out that there's not gonna be any coin flips.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good thing. The DreamHack tournament was quite good, but also there were room for improvement, definitely.
Yeah.
And it will be cool to go there. I hope to be able to do so myself. It's a bit unclear at the moment, but being able to compare between these, I would say, mid-sized events. If MLG Dallas and the GSL will represent the higher tier, DreamHack and Assembly would be somewhere in the middle. And of course, the prize pool, it's 5,000 euros, which is not bad, but it's far from the 50k or US dollars in.
Yeah, it's definitely good, but like if you look at how many good players are there, it's very hard to actually make like a good spot. So.
Yes, it's definitely something you do, and not for the prize money, but rather for the competition and everything that it brings. But it's going to be one hell of an event, and I hope it will be a good stream for everyone to watch. So, yes, best of luck, TLO, in owning your way through the Assembly. But speaking of ownage, back during the beta, I believe it was in the HDH Invitational, a tournament we remember fondly. That was the biggest event of the StarCraft 2 beta period. I think it was concluded in June 2010. There you faced the Grandpa Toss himself, White-Ra, very high up. And you had an epic struggle. And he turned out to be the victor that time. And recently you met again in the TSL qualifier number 4. Can you tell us what happened and how it makes you feel?
Well, once again, I was facing him in the finals, and it was actually quite ironic what happened, because as some of you might remember, I lost 3 PvPs against White-Ra in the HDH. Like, I was winning all my games as Terran and Zerg, and losing all my PvPs, and because I randomed Protoss 3 times, it was kind of unlucky.
Yes, quite.
And this time I actually only won my PvPs and lost all my Terran and Zerg games. So it was kind of turned around. But let's just say I feel pretty happy about it, because now I only need to take the pieces and put the puzzle together and beat him with Protoss, Terran and Zerg at once.
Yes, of course, and White-Ra is not attending Assembly, but I'm sure you will face each other again in very high-profile events during the year. And of course, it's David versus Goliath. You have yet to beat the most fearsome Protoss of the East, but you will have your chance again. And I think we really look forward to see the story continue and see if you have put the puzzle together correctly. It was an epic event, and I'm really looking forward to see the Team Liquid Star League in StarCraft 2 unravel properly in the later stages. It's going to be a truly epic event, because in Brood War the TSLs were, well, the biggest and the best things we had in the foreign scene, and I think Team Liquid really are the ones that can put together a global online event like none other.
Yeah, I think we should all be looking forward to it, because I think it's not too much if I say it's gonna be the most hardcore event so far. Like, I think it's gonna have the strongest player pool of any tournament we have seen so far, because it's only gonna be the best Europeans. We're gonna have Koreans, and it's just gonna be mind blowing. Like, every single round will already be amazing, I think.
It should be. There are good reasons to look forward to that one for sure. But let's expand a little bit on that. With Team Liquid, of course, now doing very well all over the place, all over the world, really. In Korea, in the USA, Europe, globally. And pro gamers like you and your other fellow teammates really representing esports. What, in terms of business, what can we look forward in the future? How will Liquid, the site and the team expand, and what can you reveal about the plans and the ideas for the future?
Well, I can't tell you too much, but I can basically only tell you it's only gonna get better with Liquid. There's like no stopping in near sight for us to improve. Like our conditions, what content we're gonna provide, and I think there's gonna be a lot more coming 2011 for the team and the page, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's not like we're gonna stop here now and rest and be lazy and like be happy with what we have now. But we want to expand, we want to get bigger, but. Yeah, I think it's going good.
It truly is. I mean, I know it's not going to happen this TSL, but maybe in the next one we will have an offline final taking place at a spectacular venue somewhere in the world where people can travel to, and a sort of GSL run by Team Liquid minor event, but still epically huge. Wouldn't that be something nice, Dario, if that could be accomplished?
It's definitely a very nice option, and I think it's gonna happen very soon.
Well, we'll just have to take your word for that. Also, something I'd like to ask you, and I know that I've gotten tons of emails from people wanting me to ask you, how are things doing with your pro gamer hands? You suffered from carpal tunnel when you returned from Korea, and we know that you had to cancel the IAM Kiev casting due to bronchitis. You sound better. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I mean, I'm still suffering from carpal tunnel, like, because it's like a really long-term thing, and it's like going up and down. Sometimes I don't do enough against it. Sometimes I play too much, and then it's like a little bit worse again, and then it gets better again. But yeah, it's not really holding me back anymore. I can do a lot, and I'm feeling very fit. Like, health-wise, everything is good. I don't think I've ever been like in such a good physical shape nowadays, and I notice how like being in a good physical shape is helping me a lot playing better.
Well, I believe that's very true indeed, and it's an inspiration for many people out there to not forget their health while gaming. So great to hear that you're feeling better, and your results in-game truly correspond to that. So GG, Dario, keep it up and take care of those wrists.
I will.
You better. People are counting on you. And speaking of great things, over there in Korea, your fellow teammates, and especially Jinro, they are holding their own, truly. The GSL4 just concluded. Jinro once again took a round of 4 spot, and MVP versus Marine King in the final. There was nothing less than quite extraordinary, especially the fact that it ended in a 4-0. Now we have a new GSL, a lot more foreigners flowing in, and a whole infrastructure now being built around catering to the global community. Thoughts?
I think, like with everything in Starcraft 2 right now, it can only become better. I mean, first of all, I'm completely impressed by Jinro that he could actually not just make it like a single success in TSL, but repeat his performance once again.
Mm-hmm.
And the Foreigner House definitely is interesting. Some people complain like that it's called Global Starcraft League, but it's actually only in Korea. But you notice more and more that the GSL actually aspires to truly become a global league, and like providing that Foreigner House is the first really big, great step to like providing the capabilities to make it a global league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they truly seem to intend to be inclusive, like nothing we've ever seen before. Because, of course, Korean StarCraft in the Brood War days, it was something we all looked up to and tried to mimic as best as we could here in the foreign wastelands. But with very few exceptions, it was an entirely Korean event. And GOM TV with the global Star League seems to be doing everything they can to change that, and that's really great to see. I know that Moonglade recently moved there from Australia, and of course we have Huck, Hapro, Rhett, and Jinro still being there. Many other names flowing in.
Oak.
Yes. Any particular who will do best among the foreigners that have yet to truly prove themselves in Code A and Code S, you think, this season?
You mean if you don't talk about Liquid or in general?
Well,
because obviously Liquid is gonna do best, but
obviously, but Idra and Jinro have proven themselves to be one step ahead of the other foreigners in Korea as of right now. And now we have some new talent playing for not just Liquid coming in as well. And disregarding the clan tag, who do you think have the most promise there, given the Korean situation and that whole transition?
I think Moonglade seems to be really strong. He's like crazy how much he practices, because I think Czech Prime is like the guy in Korea who plays the most, but Moonglade actually even plays more than him.
Yeah, they say so.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy, and I think that will put him in a very comfortable spot, because he won't be shocked by culture and adjusting to Korean standards, but he will just do fine, I think.
Yeah, Moonglade seems to be everyone's poster boy at the moment, but I'm sure the other Liquidians will prove their worth once again as well. And I believe it kicks off in, I don't have the exact date in front of me, but sometime here in February, not too long at all now. So, yeah, I mean, I used to watch a lot of YouTube StarCraft every morning with my coffee. That's kind of my joy, but nowadays it's only the GSL. I feel they have truly taken over the whole StarCraft 2 broadcasting market, as far as I'm concerned, at least, and on very good measure. It's a spectacular event. Do you miss it at all?
Of course I miss it. I mean, I'm very happy in Europe right now, but out of all things in Korea, I obviously miss the GSL most. And I'm looking forward to play in televised events once again in the future.
Oh, let's hope for that. I believe many people would love to see it. But of course, Liquid is a global institution, and you need to have a good man placed on top of the global ranking in Europe as well. So, it's looking like it's going to be an exciting year, doesn't it, Dario, with everything that's going on?
Yeah, it's going to be a legendary year indeed. I can't even describe how much I'm looking forward to 2011 to unveil
itself.
Unveil. I was like kind of going for like the middle. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Now, before we round things off, I'm sure you want to thank the little app factory and everyone at Team Liquid, etc. And can remind people that you'll be doing some non-StarCraft stuff this weekend in Stockholm, and that assembly is just going to be a riot. Did I cover it all there, Dario?
I'm not sure about the coverage. I think like there are some Millennium TV and Set TV, which is some kind of Finnish thing, are gonna. Oh, it's actually like it's telling us it's like. Oh no! The Beard and GLHF TV are gonna provide coverage. Maven is actually gonna cast it.
In Swedish or in English?
I think he's gonna do in English.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't sound too friendly.
Well, a good thing about DreamHack was that Day 9 was there. But let's not go into that one too much. I'm sure it will be a spectacular event regardless, and I'm sure all of your favorite casters out there, viewers, will cast the highlights in the flavor you prefer as well. So it's going to be an epic February indeed. So Dario, any closing words before I let you get back to defending that #1 spot on the global ranking?
It was a pleasure to be on your show again. It's always nice talking to you, and let's make 2011 a truly rememberable. Now I'm failing
memorable, I believe the pro gamer tries to say.
Yeah, I'm good at Starcraft, but I still need to practice the whole talking and being like a normal social being. No, I'm just kidding.
As long as you're good at Starcraft.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, and I think it's important that we all work together to make 2011 the best year esports has seen yet.
I believe we're on a good way, Dario. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It is always a treat, and thank you everyone who's been watching and listening to this broadcast. If you're a Team Liquid user, feel free to bump the official GGvision thread and check out all the other broadcasts and interviews I've done there in the past. It's polygonreview.com/Team Liquid. It always helps out, and yeah. Thanks again for coming on, Dario. Good luck in Stockholm, in Helsinki, and on that top of the ladder.
Thank you very much.
GG on out. Predictable, conventional, but